and gentlemen, what's going on? I'm CaptnBarbosa, and I'm at the State of Decay booth with Geoffrey Card, the lead designer of Lifeline. Now, Geoffrey, I got to say thank you.
Thank you. This has been a great show so far.
When did the whole momentum and inspiration for Lifeline start?
That's a good question. I think after Breakdown, Breakdown was our first DLC expansion where we wanted to give people sort of a new way to play, a new like infinite mode that they could get into. But after that, we're like, you know what? We really want to give people a little bit more story. We want to give people, a new map, a new set of characters, a new set of things to experience. That was pretty different from the original game. And so what we decided to go with was, we had these military characters who were kind of like, they were side characters in the original game. You didn't quite know what they were trying to do. They felt like almost antagonists half the time. We want to say, okay, well, what does it look like from their perspective? So we're putting you into the shoes of the military now. So Lifeline is our military expansion. You're going into the neighboring city of Danforth. You've been sent in by your commanding officer to rescue as many civilians and high-value people as you can. In the meantime, there's also just a lot of innocent people who need your help. And so you go into this military unit, you set up a base in there, and you're basically trying to extract people. You're bringing them to your base, you're putting them on helicopters, loading them out, but zombies love helicopters. It's like their favorite thing.
It's the sound, right? It's the sound.
It's the sound, exactly, right? So whenever the helicopter's inbound, the zombies know where your base is. And so they're coming in. There's this big siege. You can lay mines out there. You can lay propane tanks down, set little traps for the zombies, but they're coming. And so once the zombies basically get down in your face, you've got to fight those things off. Because if you don't, they're going to kill the VIPs that you just brought into your landing zone.
All right, a question about this DLC. What you just said, are you a fan of 28 Days Later?
Yes, actually, I love 28 Days Later, and we're also a big fan of The Walking Dead. We love zombie media over here, and so we wanted to, I feel like the original game was a lot more like The Walking Dead, a bunch of civilians who have no prior skills, no prior experience, trying to figure out how to survive. But then there's a lot of other zombie stories that are about, people who are supposed to know what they're doing, and so this is one of those stories now.
See, I was wondering because, again, State of Decay 1, or the original vanilla, we'll call it, was very Walking Dead simulator, right? And then this military, from what I read, this is like the 28 Days Later mansion with the mines outside. Was that the inspiration?
I wouldn't say it's the inspiration, but it is among the inspiration, definitely. Yeah, because, basically, zombies have become such this worldwide phenomenon now, this cultural phenomenon. It's hard to even pinpoint what single inspiration led to anything because there's just so much of it out there. What we're trying to do is sort of speak to the instincts that people have inside about what an event like this would be like. No, in the real world, we're not expecting it's actually going to be zombies that take us down, but everybody's got this sense of, what would happen if something bad happened? What would happen if the world that I know suddenly came to an end? Would I survive? Would I know what to do? And answering questions like that about themselves is kind of, I think, why people come to games like this.
All right, so let's get into the bread and butter of this interview. What is new? What is more fun? What are you looking forward to from feedback from the community? What do you want to see the reactions on here?
Okay, so feedback from the community. First of all, that is something that we listen to a ton. Sonia, our community manager over there who you talk to, she funnels us the stuff that she's seeing in the forums. We read it, we pay attention. One of the new features that we're adding is vehicle inventories. So one of the things that forum members ask for all the time at our site is, could I not carry just one rucksack of food back to my base? Do I have to keep, I've got this house. It's like,
can I bring one rucksack of stuff back to the base?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, you go to a house, you strip it of all of its stuff. It's got food, it's got materials, it's got ammo. You can only carry one rucksack back. Now, if you brought a car with you, you can load 6 rucksacks into the back of a pickup.
Yes, yes.
Drive it back, park it in the parking lot outside your base, and it's all instantly teleported into your base. So we got that. We've got a new vehicle, a new military vehicle in the game, not a tank, but a new military truck. We've got a bunch of new guns, and we've got your new base, which has got a ton of new facilities. We've got mines you can lay outside. We've got propane tanks, distraction traps. We've got a latrine. That is my favorite one. Because, you can only build a limited number of facilities. You might say, what, the latrine, whatever. These guys, they're adults. They can figure out somewhere to go. But no, they can't. If you don't build that latrine, E. coli is going to become just as much of a threat as the zombies.
So more sick survivors.
Yeah, more sick survivors, basically. We've also got the Ops Center as another facility where you can sort of decide the tactics of the guys that you leave behind in the base. So You can have them constantly funneling supplies into the base. You can have them looking for new recruits. You can have them thinning out the zombie herd so the big attacks don't happen as often, and it buys you some more time. And you've got the landing zone where you can call in supply drops. So anything you're missing, you can bring in from the outside if you've got enough influence. If you've been winning your missions, if you've been pleasing your commanding officer, then you can bring stuff in from the outside. And there's a new workshop where you can build. And basically, one of the issues that you could have in the old game is you just got the most amazing badass sniper rifle you've ever seen, but it needs 5.0 ammunition, and you got 3 rounds. So when are you going to ever use it? Now you can get an ammo refilling station where you can take your ammo resource and make it whatever caliber you want. So if you've got a shotgun, you got shotgun shells. If you've got an AK-47, you got 7.62. Whatever you need.
Now, I gotta go. It sounds like there's a bigger overhead in this game, as in like, how you level up your survivors, it's the stars. It sounds like you're pleasing a commander. Is this campaign mode, or will there be like a freeform mode too? Like breakdown with this DLC?
It's not like Breakdown. You definitely have an objective in this game. We were kind of going for a little bit of a different flavor. There's sort of the long-term survival situation where you kind of, you can sit back in your lawn chair and snipe zombies all day if you want to in the base game. In this game, it's much more about time management. Your commanding officer has given you an assignment. You've got a limited time to get it done. But you've also got 5 other things you want to do. You've got other people you want to save. You've got places you want to scavenge. You've got facilities you want to build. And wants you've got to satisfy. And you got to decide which of those is the most important and what you're going to get done before the next big zombie attack.
Are there any new skills for the survivors? Like we have powerhouse and wrestling and then the reflexes. Did you guys add anything like that?
We don't have any new skills. We do have a lot of new character traits on the characters. Basically a whole new roster of characters coming in playing these military guys. And then we've also got a few new traits. We've got actually some injury traits. I'm just going to pause that real quick. We've got injury traits. So basically, you go down in combat, there's a chance you're actually going to get like a permanent injury, like a sprained ankle, a bruised rib, and then you better hope that you upgraded your infirmary so that you can actually take care of that stuff instead of just limping around, for the rest of your life.
I'm not asking for details of the future, but are we going to hear anything soon about the future?
That's a good question. We definitely don't have anything to say now about the future, but I can tell you that we've got a long-term agreement with our publisher. This franchise is still moving forward in the future. It's going to grow and it's going to continue, and I'm pretty excited about where it's doing.
I'm just saying, the longer you take, the more life I can live, because when it does come out, it's over for me. I already put 140 hours into this game.
We know there's people out there who want the same thing we want, so we're working on it as much as we can.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you so much.
Or I'm going to sit down and play, get some B-roll for you guys, and that's it. Get Lifeline. When is it coming out? Do we know yet?
Yeah. The first half of June.
Okay. I'm playing.